What's going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo, and today is a very special Bronco Juggalo Top 10. For the first time, completely of her own free will. The last time she did a video with me, it wasn't so free. My wife, Dani, is going to bless us with her presence, and not only her presence, but her opinion. The other night, I was doing my Super Slash Brothers live stream with Joe and Jason. He is in the hospital still. A lot of love out to Jason, you guys. Everybody send him some love in his recovery. We had on special guests Hey and Eric here, and we had Adeline's Horror World for a while. And we were just goofing off, and I was talking to Adeline about some Disney stuff, and I was making fun of Toy Story. And it sparked an idea between my wife and I to do our top 10 animated Disney films. Now, this is their animated stuff. Any and all animation goes. But we're going to go over our top 10s. So, for the first time ever, my wife, Dani. Yay!
Hey guys.
So, we're going to start with our number 10s. So, Dani, why don't you give us your number 10?
My top 10 is Brave. I really like that movie. I don't think it gets as much attention as it should. I like how independent she is as a character. And as a woman, I feel like she is a very strong female character.
Yay, girl power.
So yay, girl power. So that's my number 10.
My number 10 is The Rescuers Down Under. Movie meant a lot to me when I was a kid, especially. We bought it. I remember it came out on DVD, or not DVD, it came out on VHS when I was a little kid, so, well, I don't know. I don't remember how old I was. And I remember my mom buying it for us on clamshell. We didn't get to go to a lot of movies back then. We didn't have a lot of money, so going to the movies was a big deal. This was before my mom got remarried, and, you know, it's when she was single and my parents had divorced, and yeah, that was a big deal for us going to the movies. So this was one that she bought us when it first came out, and I loved it. I love John Candy as the albatross. I forgot his name right now. All right, dear, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Mulan. I love Mulan. It's hilarious and it cracks me up. I think it's a funny movie and fun.
We actually have this one in common because my number 9 is Mulan. And for the main reason is Eddie Murphy. Love Eddie Murphy in this movie. So funny. So, coming in at number 8, this time I think I'll go first. My number 8 is 101 Dalmatians.
Mine is Robin Hood. I really like that movie. It's just a good movie that I remember from childhood. And that's why I picked it as number 8.
And we'll see that again on my list a little higher up, actually. Like I said, mine is 101 Dalmatians, and I just always had a lot of fun with that movie. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I love the two crooks. I think they're hilarious. And it's just a good movie.
My number 7 is 101 Dalmatians. I really like that movie. It just brings back a lot of childhood memories. It's a really fun movie to watch. And I like the storyline. What's yours?
My number 7 is going to be Beauty and the Beast. Arguably one of the best movies Disney's ever put out. The music is amazing. The art is spectacular. The story is dark. The sequences are good. And it's just an amazing movie. Also one that I liked from... I don't remember how old I was when this one came out. I know I was probably like 12 or so, or maybe a little older. But it came out in the 90s, I believe, and it was just very, very awesome. I loved it. All right, babe, it's time for our number 6. We're about halfway through the list, guys. What's your number 6, babe?
Mine is Jungle Book. I really love this story. It's such a really good movie, and I just love it.
My number 6 is also The Jungle Book. When I was younger, myself and Bill and I have known each other since the 3rd grade. And we would get together and we would mess around and do whatever we were doing. And when we were bored or we couldn't figure out what to do, we couldn't figure out what to do next, we would go, So, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? Now, don't start that again. And we would just have fun with it. And it was, I love the vultures. They were awesome. King Louis, too. All right, guys, we are halfway done. It is time for number 5. What you got for number 5?
Lion King. I love that movie. It just reminds me so much of my childhood. Just watching it as a kid, watching Simba and Nyla and all them. And it's a really funny movie, too. It's just a really good movie.
Yep. I remember when Lion King came out, it was a phenomenon. Like, it was a huge movie. Biggest movie of the year, but Disney's biggest hit ever. And I remember, like, when it came out on video, because none of us got to go watch it in theaters, we had, like, the whole family, plus the neighbors and everybody else. We moved the TV in and put it in the dining room on top of the table with the VCR next to it. And, like, the entire neighborhood was in the house watching that movie. Because, like, everybody wanted to see it. It was that big of a hit. No.
Yeah.
I thought
It was pretty cool.
my number 5 is The Great Mouse Detective. A story taken right from the pages of Sherlock Holmes. I love The Great Mouse Detective. Basil of Baker Street is amazing. And the great Vincent Price as Ratigan is just, like, I love that movie. It's so great. All right, babe, so what you got for number 4?
Beauty and the Beast. I really love this movie. It's just, I love how Bella is smart and she is very intelligent. I love how smart she is, and I love how she looks beyond looks to find her true love.
My number 4 is the classic adventure Sword in the Stone. A retelling of the Arthur story, and it's just so much fun. I love it. I love Merlin. I just love that whole movie. That's the kind of stuff I was into as a kid, was that sword and sorcery, dragons and swords, and I just really enjoy that. So, that was a shot in the arm for me growing up. I loved it. All right, babe, so what do you got for your number 3?
Dumbo. I really like this movie. I watched it since I was a little girl. Like, really little. And I love Dumbo. I love Timothy Mouse. I really love Dumbo. It has one of the most prettiest songs in it. As a mother, that makes me cry every time I hear it. So that's my number 3.
And we just went and saw the live action with the girls.
Yeah.
Good movie, but
it's a really good movie.
Doesn't compare to the original. I mean, all of these remakes, even though I've yet to not like one of them.
Yeah.
They're all good, but still, the originals are just better.
Yeah, original Dumbo's way better.
Yeah. Coming in at number 3 for me is Sleeping Beauty. This was my favorite as a kid, and it was because it had the dragon and the prince, and he stabs it through the heart with the sword. I loved that. I thought it was such a great action movie. I didn't even think about it as a girl movie as a kid. To me, that was an action story, and I loved it. All right, babe, we're down to our final 2. What do you got for number 2?
The next 2 were really hard to choose from, but my number 2 is Bambi. I used to watch Bambi a lot when I was a kid. I used to watch it constantly. Every day. I really love this movie. Yeah, Bambi is my number 2 pick.
Bambi's an okay movie. It was never close to my favorites. I found it to be not as fun as some of the others, and not as much character development, but that's just my opinion. My number 2 is Robin Hood. I love that movie. It's such a fun film. The music in it's fun. The comedy in it's fun. It's just such a well done piece of animation. And to this day, it's still my favorite version of the Robin Hood story. Alrighty, guys, we are down to the nitty gritty, to the final, the number 1. This is our favorite Disney animated movie of all time. Babe, what you got for us?
I picked Lady and the Tramp. I love the love story in it. I love how the characters in it, It's funny, it's sad, it's just, for me, it's just number one Disney movie because, once again, I grew up with Lady and the Tramp, and it's just been my favorite since I was a little girl.
Yep. I love that little Scottish terrier. He's funny.
Scotty.
Mm-hmm. My number one, guys, is the one that they just put out a live-action remake of this week, and that is Aladdin. I love Aladdin. It is my favorite Disney movie of all time. Robin Williams is great. Gilbert Godfrey is great. Between those two, they could have just interacted off each other and I would have been happy. But this was just a great adventure. It's a great musical. It is drawn beautifully. And it's a good love story if you're into that. And it gave us, in my opinion, the first of these strong princesses. Like, really strong.
That is
like,
true.
She was a fighter. She didn't just... you had Ariel. She was but she didn't really fight. She was just, she was a strong girl, but she didn't fight. Jasmine fought.
Yeah,
and I thought that was cool.
Toughie.
And it's just an all-around great film. So that is it, guys, for our top 10 Disney animated movies. Now, I know we missed a lot of people's favorites, and there's a lot more movies out there. We like them all. I mean, there's very few that we don't like. We love Cinderella. We love, those are all classic stories. And Disney, regardless of what people think of them, has a great way of putting stories together. And I really wish they would go back to this classic animation style.
I do too.
So, guys, let us know down in the comments section.
What are your favorite Disney movies? Your top 10.
And that's it, guys. This is Bronco Juggalo saying peace.
Good night, guys.
Robin Hood and Little John walking through the forest, laughing back and forth at what the other has to say. Reminiscing this and that and having such a good time. Oodle-lolly, oodle-lolly,